Hey, you wonderful people. Welcome to PCP, the PixelClicksPodcast. I'm Jordan, and today's shirt is brought to you by ttheory.com, who we are not sponsored by. But as always, I am not alone. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Let's start with you, the director and improv comedian, Mr. Sergio.
May or may not be wearing pants again.
Of course. And of course, the ambassador for the PC Master Race, Cody.
Sup?
And last but not least, the man with the darkest soul, Shane is here.
Hi.
That's really
Never
offensive to
fear,
African
Shane
American.
is here.
How could you? That's really offensive.
It's okay,
Sugar.
I'm black. But
Okay.
anyway,
We got all
This-
racial minorities covered here, except race.
this has been a very exciting week when it came to news in video games, and I'm being very sarcastic at the moment because nothing really happened.
News,
Although-
no. Games,
Came out.
yes.
Although some fantastic games came out, but we'll talk about those later in the show. But first, let's start with something that's been just bubbling on my brain. The Legend of Zelda for Wii U appears to have been pushed back to next year. Now, originally they said that it was going to be coming out this year, but that was already dubious to begin with. Now with Nintendo announcing, the next gen, the new console, the NX, it's pretty much certain that the next Zelda game is being pushed back, so it'll help launch the new console.
Well, this is good news for the Nintendo NX because they'll have a launch awesome game.
Yeah, so Shane and I had a spirited conversation about this earlier.
Spirited.
It's
Yes.
very, very spirited. I didn't believe that that the new Zelda game was going to be pushed back for the NX, but Shane made some very, very good points, and it only makes sense for the new Zelda game to come out for the NX sometime next year. Then I looked into how long each console lifespan had for Nintendo, and it turns out each Nintendo console lasts about 5 to 6 years. Now, the Wii U has been out for 4 years, going on 5
Dang!
next year. So it makes sense that a new console will be coming out next year.
Are you telling me that the Wii U has already gone through its life cycle, bitch?
Yeah, no, unfortunately it seems like it has. I mean,
And I mean, Nintendo's probably even cutting it short just because let's be honest with each other, it has not sold that well at
no,
all.
it sold abysmally. It was the worst selling console out of
The 3DS,
for a very long time now, actually.
yeah. I mean, if you look at sales charts, guys, the 3DS outsells the Wii U every
Yes.
single day.
If we're
3DS
being
is
honest, the
being
3D
out for-
outsells everything.
Well, yeah,
That is
3DS
true.
does outsell everything, but come on, really? It's console getting outsold by a handheld.
Granted, when it comes to Nintendo, that it's not that surprising because it's a Nintendo console, Nintendo handheld. People love Nintendo handhelds because, well, for most of us, we grew up with those just all our lives. We had the Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Light, the Game Boy SP, Advance, so on and so forth. Like,
But
All right, guys, I had a Game Gear. Never mind. I'm not.
I showed my Game Gear on
You
this
did.
podcast. I had a Game Gear too. Don't worry about it.
but
Yeah, but you probably had like a like Nintendo Pocket thing.
Yep.
Ah,
just like
why
that.
can't I think of it?
Game Boy,
Ah,
Game Boy,
Game Boy,
Pocket,
there
Game
you
Boy Color, Game Boy.
you probably had one, right?
Yeah, I had a Game Boy Color.
I only had a gamepad.
Game Gear.
Game Gear. Sorry.
Gamepad.
Game motherfucker
Gamepad.
gonna kill you with a brick to the head. Because that's what it was. It was literally a brick.
It was. It was very, very big machine. Small screen too.
Mhm.
Mine committed a mass genocide of batteries.
Yes, it did.
But
So it's unfortunate that the Wii U basically never got off the ground. I mean, all the best titles only came out last year for it.
Yeah, all the best
I rem-
titles came out last year. There's like maybe one coming out this year. I don't know. Did they even say a release date yet? Still for the new?
Splatoon
No, no Splatoon. What's the name of the game that starts with an X?
starts with Xenosaga.
Xenosaga. Yeah. They
I mean,
announced
Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah.
Not
I'm just gonna
That
buy
thing.
Xenoblade
Did they
Chronicles on
announce-
the 3DS.
release date for that?
I don't believe they did. I think the release window is holiday 2015 this year.
Now it's gonna be 2016 because of the whole NX.
Nah, for a game like that, they're not going to push it to a new console. Because, I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles is a very, very, very niche game. Like,
Yeah.
it came out for the Wii towards the end of the Wii's life cycle, and a lot of people just did not play it. I mean, for most people who got the new 3DS, it's going to be the first time playing Xenoblade on the new 3DS, which is exclusive to the new 3DS. Can't play it on the old 3DS because Nintendo. So, like,
the worst part about that is they got me. I'm definitely gonna get a new 3DS.
yeah, no, I'm gonna get one too because I want to play that game because I missed it on the Wii.
I even play with the nipple that they added to it.
Oh, I like the nipple. I like tweaking the nipple. I remember back in the
X is scheduled for release on April 29th, 2015 in Japan.
In Japan.
So, yeah, it's definitely coming out on Wii U.
yeah, no, it's definitely, but it's not going to come here for a while because they have to localize it, and then I hear that's a very, very big game, very big.
Huge.
Humongous. But I remember back in the Aztec Gaming days when our former editor, Kevin Smead, did a review for Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii.
Oh, what happened? Did he lose his way from Captain Hook?
Oh, no,
it
was a very glowing review.
Shmee.
Smee.
Smee.
He needs to find his way back to Neverland.
So yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X is most likely coming to America at least holiday season because it's going to take a while to localize that humongous game. Speaking of humongous games, Dragon Age Inquisition is already like what, a 60+ hour game.
Probably. I mean, if you do
a
good chunk of the content, yeah.
And recently
I think somebody
there
did
was
a speed run, and I think like the quickest speed run if you only do the main stuff is like 4 hours.
Makes sense.
So even for a speed run, that's pretty long.
Yeah, that's so Dragon Age Inquisition, a new DLC came out for it, the Jaws of is it Hakan?
I think it's Hakan.
Like the fighter from Street Fighter?
Yes.
The Jaws of Hadouken.
Hadouken, yes.
Jaws of Hadouken.
I think it was interesting about it is like apparently no one knew anything about it, and then they just the day before they're like, yeah, we have a DLC. It comes out tomorrow, and there's gonna be a trailer.
Not for PS4.
Not for PS4 apparently. So what is this? What does this DLC add to the game?
From what I've read, like I haven't played it myself, but from what I read, it's like 5-6 hours of content. It's basically like another area. You run around, do some side quests. The main story is basically you are following the path of the last Inquisitor and finding out like how he died and what happened to them, which basically involves I guess it you end up fighting a god of the Avar people who's named Hakan.
Oh, okay.
So it sounds, you get to find out some more about the less known people of the game and maybe fight a god and some cool stuff like that. It's just a side thing. Just kill the
guy. Was there a
guy.
Final Fantasy where you actually fought God and then killed him?
There was. Yeah.
Final Fantasy X.
No, not 10. It was another one.
Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah, that's the one.
3/6, but
yeah, American 6.
Japanese 3.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, granted, in Final Fantasy X, you also kill God and religion.
Yeah.
Kill all the
I
things.
never actually beat that game, so I have no idea.
You kill God and religion in that game.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's what
Not
happens.
too bad.
Wait, your dad's
Literally
sin?
kill religion.
Basically, yeah.
So he encompasses all sin.
Yeah. That's what he's literally called Sin.
Yeah, man.
A little on the nose, but
Yeah. It's pretty. I own the game.
What are your?
I own the game. I'm just really lazy.
Granted, that was more on the nose than most Final Fantasy games are.
Well,
Way
I
more
think
on the
you mean
nose.
Old Final Fantasy games were not on the nose.
Oh yeah,
New
that's
Final Fantasy
that is
games,
true.
not so much.
Oh, Final Fantasy took such a dip. Like, I'm gonna say the last good Final Fantasy game was 10.
I'd
That was
say the last good one was 12. I really liked 12.
12, I haven't played.
That's the thing.
Mostly because I couldn't get over the MMO-esque fighting of that game.
That's why I liked it, because it was so weird. But I'll tell you what, that story is nonsense. I had no idea who the main bad guy was until I fought him at the end. I was like, oh, I guess I'm fighting this guy. And he had like 4 forms. And then there's like a bunny lady, and she was sad. And a pirate guy, and he was sad. And they're like, let's be sad together, everybody. And then, yeah. I mean, the characters were cool, but
Yeah.
the whole story was like, what is going on?
To be fair, most Final Fantasy games have just convoluted stories that you can only understand if you're paying attention the entire time.
Oh, yeah, remember that time when what's his name, Cloud dressed as a lady?
Oh yeah, I mean, Cloud had to dress as a girl so he could sneak into this pimp's house so he could save his girlfriend.
I'm 2 for 2 on referencing that same scene from last week to this week.
It's an actual section. It's a mandatory section in Final
And
Fantasy VII.
people want a remake of that game. So they want to see Cloud in a girl's clothes in a brothel.
You know how amazing that scene would be, like in HD.
I want everyone to get a copy of that movie that came out. What was it called? Advent Children, and the remake of Final Fantasy, so that they can watch how serious he is, and then immediately boot up the game and see him and dressed as a woman and walking
see
into a
how
brothel.
different he is in the actual game.
Yeah, he's, whoa, this is 90s trend. Ugh, everything spelled with a Z.
What?
I don't know. In the 90s, they always put X's, and then instead of S's, they put Z's. You know, boys to men. You know what I mean?
Is that a thing
Well,
that happened?
speaking of Z's, Battlefield Hardline came out.
You son of a bitch.
And
Would you call it snooze?
it's been like it isn't, really making any waves.
you know, it was funny. It was like a good 3 days after it came out before I realized, oh shit, that came out.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
I didn't know
heard
it came out until it got mentioned in chat earlier tonight.
from multiple sources. I've basically come to the conclusion that this game's campaign is good in the way of a B movie is, where it's just hilariously bad.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna buy it because of that, and nothing really. But I hear the multiplayer is good. I hear that's good.
Well, I mean, of course it's going to be good because it's just Battlefield 4 again.
Yeah.
Except-
Except Battlefield.
Except this time there's no tanks or jets, like
I'm interested with that new conquest mode where they get the cars and they're driving around, and the longer they drive and the faster they drive, the more points they get.
Hotwire.
That looks awesome.
I played Hotwire in the beta and it's okay. It's basically there's these specific cars that are capture points, and then the only way to capture them is if you're in the car and driving them driving them fast. So it's the other team's job to just stop you from doing that. Like
It's like the movie Speed.
Yeah, no, it's basically Speed the game, but they keep you well, at least in the beta, they kept you in just a very small area, so you're just basically driving in the square the entire time, and it's pretty easy to stop people. And I don't
Map design,
imagine.
yay!
Yeah, no, I don't imagine that's any better in the full game. I've seen videos. It doesn't look any better.
Yeah, I was curious anyway why they just. I know they wanted to shake things up,
Yeah.
but if they wanted to shake things up, they should have made a Bad Company 3.
Yeah.
Because that's really what I want. I mean, Bad Company 1 and 2 were so good, and the stories in those games were the only good Battlefield stories.
Yeah, no, I agree. I still want to play through the abysmal Battlefield 3 story, but I started that thing like at least 4 different times, and I just could not get interested in it at all.
I'm gonna buy Battlefield 4. Oh, I do have it. I just haven't touched it at all. And I'll play the campaign and see how it compares to the third one.
The campaign for 4 is only fine because you get to hang out with oh gosh, what's his name? Michael Williams.
Who's Michael Williams?
He played gosh. He was the black professor in Community season 3? Or was it 4?
Oh yeah, the guy who was in prison and he has a scar on his face.
Yeah, no, yeah, he played in The Wire. God, what is his name? Omar. He played Omar in The Wire. Yeah. He's a fantastic actor. You get to hang out with him during the campaign the entire time. And so, it's a fine enough campaign, but it hits every single story beat that you've ever seen in any shooter.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I have a problem with military shooter story-wise is that they always tend to have those same notes that you're about to talk about.
Yep.
We have one group of guys who out of the entire army have to go in for some reason behind enemy lines, and then there's a nuke that comes off that's involved somehow, and they have to stop a terrorist who has like the button to the nuke, and there's a driving sequence where one of them gets hurt real bad, and what else am I missing? That's pretty much it.
The guy named Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez. And
you literally called the entire campaign.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's the thing, that's been the last Battlefields and last few modern warfares of Call of Duty. And the thing that I want, like me personally, as a writer, I just want them to tone it down and make like a Last of Us kind of thing, but in behind enemy lines style the movie.
Yeah.
But not so over the top with all that action stuff.
That's why I like 2143. I mean, it didn't have a campaign, or 2142. Hey, Freudian slip there. Yeah. Please make
one day.
One day. 2142, because I mean, it didn't have a campaign, but you could kind of read and tell the story from like the map descriptions and stuff like that, and it wasn't like super generic. It was a completely different concept. Global warming has wrecked the world. Europe's under ice. Everybody's fighting over the tiny scraps of land that's left over.
California's out of water. All that stuff. That's a cool fiction.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like it wasn't just like, those damn Russians again, or those damn Arabs again. This time it was the Asian guys, China and Japan and all them. Fuck those guys.
If I am correct, which I probably am not, I feel like the only good story was Spec Ops Line, and that's about it. Or is there something else?
People have said Advanced Warfare's.
Advanced Warfare was better.
It was better.
It was better, but was it really good?
No, still the best story is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. The original Modern Warfare. That still is the best story.
That one was the best because it was the first one to come out, and it was actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was super cool. And then
it's like, what? And then 3 was like, and then the rest are the same.
Yeah, 2 was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Then 3 was like, why is this still going? And then
I remember like the feeling I had was like in the first Modern Warfare, it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you died. That was so fucking awesome. And then in part 2, everybody dies. You're just like, well,
it just happens again. You're like, okay, cool. And in part 3, it happens again. It's like, come on.
Just kill people. It works.
I just wanted Martin Lawrence to come out and say this shit got real, and then you play as him, and then so it's just like what, Soap sucked anyway.
Oh no, Soap was awesome.
I didn't play Modern Warfare 3, so I don't know. I was lying. I don't know what
Soap
I'm talking about.
McTavish. He was such a cool character that they made not cool.
What about the guy who was actually from BioShock Infinite, yet he wasn't the game that hadn't come out yet? What's his name?
What?
The guy with the long sideburns that went into his mustache, or whatever his name was.
Price, Captain Price.
Yeah. That guy was good. Guy was awesome.
But here's the thing: when you play Modern Warfare, 1, 2, and 3, you find out, at least in 3, that Price is actually the main character, not Soap.
Yeah.
A guy that you only play as like twice in the entire game, in all 3 games, he's the actual main character.
Yeah. Like it's the same.
That's pretty badass.
Basically,
breaking him out of jail though. That mission.
Yeah, no, that was a cool. mission.
Say what you want to about Modern Warfare 2, and its campaign, but that specific part was like, fuck, this is cool.
I'm not gonna lie. Modern Warfare 2 is still my all-time favorite Call of Duty. That's still my all-time favorite.
Make a better comparison of the Modern Warfare trilogy. It's kind of like The Great Gatsby, where Soap is Tobey Maguire, and Price is what's his name?
Gatsby.
No one wants to be Tobey Maguire because
Everyone
came
wants
out for
to
the
be
third Spider-Man.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Everybody wants to be Leonardo DiCaprio, all right? He deserves an Oscar.
He does deserve an Oscar, but he's never going to get one.
He's never going to get one.
Apparently, in some movie he's making, he plays like 23 different parts.
Oh yeah, the one about schizophrenia.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yep. And just like how Leonardo DiCaprio is not going to be getting an Oscar, we're not going to be getting Halo Online. Only Russia gets that.
You're good. That one was a good one.
That was a good one.
I interrupted you the past 7, 8, 9 episodes.
This is what you guys stopped me from doing.
That was a really good one.
Not us. Him.
Specifically me. I won't let Shane or Cody take the blame for this. It was my fault.
But yeah, so Russia's getting Halo Online, which is a free-to-play Halo game that is built on a modified version of the Halo 3 engine. And it comes with some classic maps from all the Halos, but specifically Halo 3, and there's some new maps. And yeah, it's a free-to-play shooter.
Them Ruskies are getting the good stuff.
Which is random, but apparently free-to-play games in general are just super big in Russia.
Oh, yeah.
They eat that stuff up, so makes sense.
World of Tanks is like super awesome over there.
Yeah, World of Tanks is great,
Dota
and
2.
that's why we didn't get Warface until last year?
Yeah.
Remember Warface, guys?
Yes, I do actually. Warface is such a good name, by the way. The next game I'm gonna make is gonna be called like War Dick, and it's gonna be going to different parts of the body.
War Dick meets War Vagina.
Oh, that's inappropriate. How could you say something like that?
Triggered.
My next game is gonna be War Fist.
War what?
War Fist. That sounds.
Yeah. That's a better one.
That sounds like a real thing. It's War
Fist. That's a
Fist.
legitimate one. Yeah, that's a legitimate game I probably would play.
Warhead.
Warhead. That's like Jarhead.
Jarhead was an okay movie.
Okay, Warfoot sounds like a bad superhero.
No, Warfoot sounds like it's a game about trying to get acne out of this guy's foot, and you play like the powder.
It's like the evolution of Trenchfoot.
Yes. The end boss is like this yellow fungus.
Warfoot.
That's actually like that's the next Dark Soul game where you have to fight fungus off from each of this guy's foot, and the last boss is like a yellow toenail.
Oh God, that's
Dark Souls 3, guys. That's right there.
that is literally all of the news. That's happened.
I'm jealous though about the whole Halo thing.
Yeah,
I'm jealous that China gets a free-to-play Dragon's Dogma online game.
I'm jealous that why don't we get any of these cool things? Well,
I don't know, because it's not as cool as how you guys have been playing Bloodborne. Boom!
No.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that.
I mean, I guess it does make sense that America doesn't get that many free-to-play things because the market just doesn't like it.
Yeah. And free-to-play games just seem to be in Asia's blood.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I don't like free-to-play that much either.
I mean, I don't know. It's just because a lot of free-to-play games just have that inherent grindiness to it, and a lot of people over here don't have the patience for it.
Don't have the patience. Don't have it in their blood. You know.
Yeah, we're just not born with that in us.
Kind of like children. So let me tell you about a story about how children are born. There's dad, there's a mama, and they put things in each other, and then there's born. Then there's a placenta, and that's where the blood comes from.
War birth.
You could say that you're born with blood.
Yeah, okay, we're really just pussyfooting around this. Bloodborne came out.
Yeah, but we can't really. Yeah, we just have to say it, just like you just did.
Yeah. So me and Shane are playing it. And
I'm sorry for bringing up placenta, by the way. Go ahead, continue.
So, Bloodborne is a fun game. I'm having a great time with it.
And that's it.
That's it. We're good. All right, moving on.
Shane, are you having a good time with the game?
Shane, as our resident demon / dark / Bloodborne soul guy,
Master of Souls.
the master of souls and blood. Tell us about Bloodborne.
Okay, so Bloodborne, you're gonna go into it and you'll notice there's a few things that are kind of similar. There's blood echoes, which I still keep calling souls, even though no, it's not souls. It's blood.
You can call it souls.
I'm just gonna keep calling it souls anyway because fuck it, it's the same thing.
Well, I like to call them either blood dollars or blood echoes.
Blood.
I have a question, real quick.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, ask my question. How many? I don't know. I haven't been paying attention too much about this technical stuff of the game. But is it true that there's more than one person co-op, or is it just one?
There is. I think it is only one person co-op / PvP. But I also heard the details on PvP and co-op are kind of sketchy still.
Yeah.
Only because people have to figure them out first.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of up in the air at the moment for that aspect of the game because everybody's working to get to the end of the game and do the chalice dungeons.
Oh, yes.
I wish I could talk to you guys about, but I haven't done one yet, even though I have the stuff to do it.
And apparently those are randomized each time. Randomized
have limiters in place based on the level that you get to. So I know that I've heard that apparently when you get to one level, it makes it so that you only have half health the entire time.
Oh, jeez.
So
you know
everything can one-shot you the moment they hit you.
Sounds like Bloodborne.
I think that game Deep Below or Deep Down.
Deep Down.
That game's fucked because that's what that whole game was about. Is that It was a dungeon crawler where it was randomized each time. Now Bloodborne did it, and no one even knew until the game came out. You're just like, what?
Well, and there's another thing that happened that nobody knew about until the game came out. and I'm gonna say this, Jordan, you can feel free to la 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 la. I will do the la la la. There is a mechanic that involves insight, which you get from finding bosses. I'm just gonna wave my hands while I'm talking about it, so Jordan knows not to put his headphones back on. And the higher your insight gets, the weirder shit gets, basically.
What do you mean?
So if you go over like 50 insight, you start seeing the outline of enemies that you haven't seen before. And then the higher it goes, as in like 60s, 70s, suddenly they become more physical. And then until the point where you can actually see monsters that weren't there before. It's kind of creepy.
Are you telling me that
honest.
there's basically invisible monsters throughout the
Yes.
entire game, and you don't see them until you have high enough insight?
Yep.
It's pretty intense.
Pretty much.
That is
That's
awesome.
Bloodborne.
I can't even comprehend how awesome that is.
All right.
That-
Well, let's let Jordan come back.
Okay.
What's up, guys?
Okay, Jordan. Jordan. I know I can't tell you what we were talking about, but it's really cool. It's really cool. I think that's awesome.
I'm looking forward to it, I guess.
Yeah. You'll find out eventually.
All
Yeah,
If you
right.
don't find
But
out,
yeah.
I'll probably have to tell you about
The
it.
problem is you'll never see it unless you beat the game wearing naked, with your character naked. That's the thing.
You know,
Oh.
the thing that I really like about Bloodborne is that the game literally tells you nothing. It tells you absolutely nothing.
Doesn't it harken back to those old days where you have to ask your friends how to do stuff?
Yeah, no,
That's-
like,
The joy of the game.
yeah, no, that's what I really like about it. Like, it's something that I didn't know I really missed in games. Like, it really reminds me of like old Super Nintendo games that they don't tell you how to play the game. This is a reference that, of course, I would make. It was like playing Super Metroid for the first time, and you get to an area where you see these three little goblin things start jumping off the walls, and you think, okay, can I do that? And then through trial and error, you figure out, yes, you could jump off walls. You could just wall jump anywhere, basically. And it's like that. Like, the game never explicitly tells you anything. It's just you figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot.
And you get a lot more out of the game if you
Yeah.
make sure that you're going out of your way to explore every
God, yes.
single nook and cranny.
Oh God,
You-
yes.
Decide to just sprint through every area and get to the next boss and ignore everything, you're missing out on like half the game.
Yeah, no. Like this game has like awakened something inside of me that has been long since dormant. Like I just like to cruise around. Say, hey, what's that thing over there? Can I get to that? And I just try to get there. Or we walk around like, hey, there's an item in that room, but there's this chest-high wall that I can't jump up because there's no jump button. How do I get in there? And it turns out you gotta do some platforming to get.
Climbing and jumping. And
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of unexpected jump puzzles involved in this game, and I really like that. Like,
I just want you to know that these string of series games are the only games that terrify me. Demon Souls, I own that game. I've barely beaten the first boss, and I got to the second boss. And like, nope, not gonna play this game anymore. This is insane.
Well, and thank you for bringing up the terrifying thing, Sergio, because that actually is something else I wanted to talk about. This
Go ahead.
game, more so than any of the others in the series, feels closer to being a horror game. Like, if there was... I would say the other games were a bit more skewed towards the action RPG section. This one still has action RPG in it, but then it's got horror elements added onto it now.
God, yes.
So now you're going through it being like, alright, this thing's probably going to beat the crap out of me. Oh god, this is terrifying because there's things screeching at me around all
Yeah.
over the place, and there's like ghosts.
Are there any spooky, scary skeletons?
There are no spooky, scary skeletons that I've run into yet.
Not spooky, scary skeletons, but I did find this like weird, fucked up woman that had like a tentacle face, like, and I was not ready
Found
for
the
that.
tentacle monsters.
I was not ready for that, dude. Like,
Too
it was
spooky.
so scary.
Too spooky.
Well, and Jordan and I were talking about it before the cast. We both ran into the thing today where you're basically walking through an area. A dude comes out of nowhere, huge, tall guy with a burlap sack, comes out of nowhere, knocks the shit out of you, kidnaps you, and throws you into a jail.
No,
And you
that's
have to
fine.
escape from the jail area.
I heard you have to let him kill you to get another area.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what we're talking about.
That's what
Like-
what happened. Is he basically comes out of nowhere and two shots you and then goes, okay, off to the jail you go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The thing that like totally tripped me out about it was like I was in this area that I've been in like thousands of times, not literally thousands of times, but thousands of times. And I was like, I was walking, I was like, you know, I haven't checked around this corner in a while. And I looked and I expected to see a stupid bird there, but instead I see this tall man in a shrouded in darkness, and he's wearing like a cloth thing covering his face. And he's holding a burlap sack that's bleeding. I'm like,
It's got a body inside it.
yeah. And I'm like, that wasn't there before. And then he started walking towards me. I was like, oh god.
If I
I
may,
hit him.
those crows are very unsettling, by the way.
And
They are very
they
unsettling.
They're super unsettling. I hit the dude once, and I saw that his life didn't really go down at all. I was like, this isn't good. And at which point he Spartan kicked me and then hit me with the burlap sack. Then I woke up in prison, which mirrored my life quite.
Accurate presentation.
Accurate representation of my life. So that was pretty terrifying. Then in the prison, I was just walking around and like being super cautious. I look around the corner and I just see this decrepit old woman with multiple humps on her back.
My lovely lady lumps.
Oh, she got them. She got them for days.
Gamma mode activate.
And then she starts screeching like a banshee and runs at me. So I murdered her.
That's because you
And then her
didn't
body disappeared.
compliment her humps.
Yeah. And then I walked into a room and I stopped. And I turned around and walked the other way because there's two of the dudes just chilling in the room together. I was like, nope, not gonna deal with this.
Well, and if you screwed up, which I did on multiple occasions with the lady humps ladies,
Yeah.
they will grab you, slice your throat, and you will die.
Fun.
Okay, I didn't know that they do that, but thank you for letting me know.
Now you know. They got an instant kill move, so
Okay.
don't fuck around with
Yeah,
them.
and, I specifically I'm so glad I killed them so quickly. And another thing that I like about the game is that you can leave notes behind, or you can read other people's notes that they leave for you. A lot of the times, the notes don't help, but some do. And for those people, I give them a fine. This is a fine message, sir. And I've gone into the habit of leaving notes myself, just to help people out. Like, hey, if you go this way, it's just the big dude. You're not gonna get any treasure, just the big dude. Shane.
Speaking as a Souls veteran, thank you From Software for including copious amounts of stuff for me to roll through to the story. I enjoy that. I'm part of the game immensely. I walk into a room and see thousands of
Jars.
jars, and I just go, yes! And roll through every single fucking one of them, because even if it doesn't do anything,
it's so
fun as hell.
satisfying. It's so satisfying.
So now, one of the gripes of the game is the load times, which is about
Yes.
47
The loading
seconds.
time takes so freaking long.
Yeah.
I was telling Jordan, the load screen is worse because every single time you died in a Souls game before now, there was always that moment of reflection.
Yeah.
But Bloodborne's loading screen, because it takes so long, is more like a moment of complete and total agony because you realize not only did you die, so you fucked up.
Yep.
Now you have to wait a good 30 seconds before you can even play again.
Yeah.
It like
And-
doubles the depression that you feel when you die.
And to make things worse for myself, at least, like every time I die now, I decide, you know what, this equals 5 push-ups or 5 sit-ups or 5 something.
You're gonna be fucking pumped up.
You must be ripped.
I'm trying to get there, you know, just get myself in shape.
We're gonna see
One of-
like podcast number 14, and he's just like
How
a
ripped.
black Arnold Schwarzenegger's gonna walk in.
I'm not even gonna wear a shirt anymore. Just sitting like
This shirt is sponsored by no one. Sponsored by Bloodborne.
Yeah. Sponsored by the movie Twins.
I mean,
Body
so,
by Bloodborne.
so
On the bright side, though, they said they're going to try to patch that to hopefully
they're
make it short.
patching it. Hopefully, they're also patching another glitch, which I found out about today, which is apparently people's save files are getting corrupted.
Gross.
Ow.
That's the
Thanks.
worst.
That's not a good one.
Not entirely due to the From Software, but because of the 2.5 PS4 update.
Oh.
Fucked it up.
Thanks, Obama.
And then the
Absolutely.
other thing that I will say is it's a fun game, and most of the time it runs pretty smoothly, but there are some pretty jarring graphic glitches every
Yes.
now and then.
There's a lot of graphical hiccups.
Especially, like, I think the best, most common occurrence example I can think of is the area where there is a person at the top of a tower shooting a Gatling gun down at you,
Jesus Christ.
and there's a bunch of smoke effects in that area.
Yeah.
If you run through one of those smoke plumes, the fucking game freaks the fuck out on the PS4, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
It just kind of goes until you
Yeah.
get out of the smoke, and then I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'll stay out of the smoke because
Yeah,
I
that-
want to see what I'm doing.
Yeah, that person in particular is the worst that I've seen
Yeah.
so far.
There's a few. I don't think I've run into it too much outside of that. I know I've seen a GIF of somebody apparently getting glitched out of the scenery by when he was fighting the first boss, which that sucks. And
Yeah,
then
one that happened to me was there's a room shortly after the Gatling gun guy. It's just filled with werewolves, basically. I got hit once, and then I proceeded to attack everybody at once. So the thing about Bloodborne is when you get hit, you have a chance to regain your health by attacking an enemy. So me getting hit once combined with me hitting at least 5 enemies at once, so it triggers the health regeneration thing. It made the game slow down a lot because it had to register all the hits and then all the life I'm gaining back and just all these things, and everything slowed down. But we could talk about Bloodborne for hours upon hours.
We'll move on.
But
we have another thing.
there is another game that did come out this
Well,
week.
before we do that, actually, I totally forgot there was a piece of news about another Funcom game. Or Funcom. Wow! Oh! Why did I say Funcom? Wow! In Dark.
Funcom.
Wow.
Triggered.
Triggered. Oh man. From these guys, same developer as Bloodborne.
From software.
Fun. I knew it was fun something.
From South.
From something.
From it was fun. It was close enough. Whatever. From fun. Close enough. It's actually about Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin edition.
That's true.
That's coming out soon, and the PC version kind of got fucked really bad. Well, they're coming out with 2 different versions depending on which version of DirectX you have. And they're charging 2 different prices, and they're splitting the community depending on if you buy the DirectX 11 edition, you can't play with DirectX 9 version players, and vice versa.
Oh, it's
They're completely
Dark
separate
Souls 2?
editions. Yep.
Yeah, Dark Souls 2.
If you buy the Scholar, the
Yeah,
first
I'm
in
just gonna
edition.
buy the PS3 edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get the PS4 one.
So
So
there's
I don't
DirectX
get
9
shit.
version that's selling for $40, and then there's DirectX 11 version which sells for $50. If you already own Dark Souls 2, you can get there's so many different versions. You can get the DirectX 11 version for $50. Oh wait, no, for $30 if you already own the game. And then
Okay.
if you own Dark Souls 2 and all the DLC already, you can upgrade to the 11 version for only $20. So you pretty much have to have like a freaking pie chart for this to figure out what price you're paying. And the DX9 and DX11 versions are on two completely separate store pages on Steam, so it could be very easy to buy the wrong
Oh
version.
my god. That's insanity.
So
Okay.
it sounds like, and even the new editions won't work with the old edition, so they're basically splitting the community into three different groups.
So
It's like
go buy it
I
for
know they're
PS4.
not good with PC stuff, but this is insanity.
Yeah, no, that's,
They should
that's
release. They
crazy.
should release another version for Game Boy so that they can split the community into 4.
I
So
mean,
that
there has
it's
to be a
even.
Mac version too, so there's the and a Linux version. So
Absolutely.
Speaking as a person who watches the community pretty closely, though, pretty much everybody is playing Bloodborne at the moment. Doesn't give a shit about
Right.
Dark Souls 2.
yeah, that makes
And
sense.
first Scholar, the first thing is going to come out, but I'm 99% sure everyone's going to get it for PS4 except for a few people.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's really the heart of the problem, though, is the
Yeah.
few people that will buy it for PC aren't going to be able to play it with each other because they're going to have
Yeah,
4 or 5
Yeah.
different versions running around.
very true.
You already have a small
Just-
community, and then it's fractured.
Everybody, remember, From Software does not know how to make PC games.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just saying.
The only reason they got the first Dark Souls out was because everyone petitioned, and they're like, "Okay, I guess we'll do it."
Does anyone else think it's kind of dumb that Dark Souls 2 is coming out 2 weeks after Bloodborne?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's really dumb.
The thing of it that is kind of nice, though, is like the pricing scheme. If you haven't touched Dark Souls 2 on PC at all, it's
Yeah.
a really good deal since you get all the DLC with it. But if you do, and you just want a graphical update with a few new items and things like that, they
Yeah.
rake you over the fucking coals. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
How much is it?
Well, like I said, it was the upgrade. It's like $20+
Ooh.
for something that most games would do for free.
Ooh.
Honestly.
The Half-Life 2 upgrade thing is for free for everybody. Boom.
That's not good. That's not a good
Yeah,
practice at all.
if you already own all the DLC, you still have to pay $20, and that's pretty much all you're getting is the upgrade in graphics.
See, yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I was wondering for just to being nice people, why can't they just like give those updates for free for the people
That's
who are
what most
going?
studios do,
not-
but
Yeah.
It's not From's decision, though. It's
Yeah.
Namco.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not different. I got a question for y'all too. Is so now obviously there are two different camps now. There are now the Dark Souls and there are now the Bloodborns. So giving
Demon
you guys
Souls
the
could
option.
pop up again someday.
Demon Souls will never come back.
Bloodborne is Demon Souls 2. I'm
Yeah.
just
Yes.
saying.
but
That's pretty much it. So, given the option, which would you rather? Which version would you rather continue on into the future, and the other one will not continue on? Bloodborne or Dark Souls? Given that Dark Souls 2 is really awesome, and Bloodborne has shown itself to be really awesome.
Dark Souls 2 was not awesome.
I heard it was really.
Mm.
I heard everybody was
DLC
saying.
is good.
Mm.
The main game.
well, seeing how I haven't played Dark Souls 2, and I've only played like a handful of hours of Demon Souls.
Yeah.
I am already in the Bloodborne camp. I already like it. It reminds me a lot of what I like in spectacle fighters, but you have to be smarter about what you do. how you approach things. So I just like Bloodborne more.
Yeah.
Granted, I haven't played the other one, so I can't really speak to.
I I'm gonna fall in the Bloodborne camp, but I'm not gonna stick to that because I would rather choose once I'm actually done with the game.
Yeah,
Um, to be honest, but in my opinion, Bloodborne is closer to the style of gaming or the style that I played Dark Souls and Demon Souls in the first place. A
Hmm.
lot of people who play those games usually go for the turtling method, where they're wearing like heavy armor and giant shield, and
oh God,
like no, they're a vast
You're a
majority
go-getter.
do that.
really?
So, um, I like the faster sprinting around, dodging, gotta go fast, bullshit gaming style. So,
All right,
yeah,
so clearly Shane and I have still a lot more things to say about Bloodborne, so we'll probably come back to this discussion in a different venue.
yep.
But for now, there was another game that came out this week for the PC crowd, and that game is Pillars of Eternity. And I know our PC Master Race Ambassador has plenty to say about that game, so take it away, Cody.
Yeah. So
Oh,
that
you buddy.
yeah. So that came out. It's been pretty fun. Um, for $45, it's a fantastic game. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't really beat the price for sure. I mean, it seems like it's going to be another Dragon Age Inquisition style game where I'm going to be playing this for at least a good 60, 70 hours. You know, they
Oh,
they, they said in one of the videos, they did a video series that a lot of studios do, making
yeah.
the game, and that was one of the things they said is we know our fans and we know what they were expecting when we kickstarted this game. They want another Baldur's Gate 2, and that's like 70 plus hours.
Yeah.
So, so far it seems like that'll easily be met because I've barely scratched the surface of the game. You know, like I said last week about Dragon Age Inquisition, where you feel like you've been playing a whole game in itself, and then you realize this is just the cold open. Like that's pretty much the same way in this game. You know, and you get a keep and everything just like Inquisition. It's awesome. And but it's been pretty sweet. I mean, if you like Baldur's Gate 2 type games, this definitely seems like the closest thing I've seen since that era of like Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, all those stuff. We haven't really seen. We've seen people attempt stuff like that, and the most recent I can think of is probably Divinity: Original Sin, which was a good game. Like I'm not, it's not bad at
Yeah.
all, but it didn't really blow me away at all. Whereas this game's just like, damn, you can tell, like Kickstarter money, they spent it because it's super well polished.
Yeah.
Especially for an Obsidian game. Uh, that was one of the things they said with the Kickstarter too. Is everybody knows Obsidian games are known for how buggy they are,
Yeah.
and they sat down and they fixed it. They decided amongst themselves that we're not going to release buggy games anymore, and they created a really good bug tracking system that was all software based before everything was done with like pen and paper and a bulletin board, and that's why those games, like half the bugs never got fixed because nobody knew anything.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that you do see very well in this game because unlike like Fallout New Vegas and stuff like that, I've ran into maybe like 2 or 3 bugs, and there's nothing huge. It's all minor stuff like I painted a piece of armor red and it's not showing up red. Like, that's not game breaking. It's not like a lot of
Yeah.
Obsidian games where when they first come out you're just like, oh god, half the things aren't gonna work. you know? But it's really good, and it's their first game that they've gotten to make where they're not stuck on somebody else's. First off, budget because it's their own. It's their first real independent game,
Yeah.
but also they're not stuck in somebody else's universe. They almost always have made in the past Fallout New Vegas. It's another Fallout game, things
Yeah.
like that. Whereas this is a completely brand new universe, and it's the amount of detail they put in the stuff. It feels just as detailed as stuff like Baldur's Gate and things like that. The universe is really interesting. They came up with a lot of, the whole story so far of the game that I've seen is basically that when people die, they kind of their souls kind of get reincarnated in other bodies, and there's certain people who watchers who become aware of their past lives, and they can see the past lives of other people, and that gives them like really good powers. But the world's kind of got it's this entropy type system where every time a soul dies, it loses a bit of its power.
Oh,
And so
okay.
it's like, eventually there's not going to be any souls left. And
Yeah.
there's this weird curse going around in this one area where people are born and they don't have souls. And there's just everything's
Huh.
physically good with them, but there's just like, there's no lights on type of thing. And people are trying to figure out like what's going on with the souls. Have we hit that entropy state where there's no souls left?
Yeah.
And you meet a lot of people that are like, realizing their past lives and things like that, and going a bit cuckoo, and trying to hold on to your own sanity and just go around the world and figure stuff out. It's one of those cool games too, where you just start out as like a nobody. You're just some dude
Yeah.
in a caravan who happens to run into a really messed up situation and gain some crazy powers and figure it out as you go. But it's super detailed, story wise, graphics wise. A lot of times those top down games, you go like, oh god, this it's not that good looking. They did this to cut down on budget, but you can zoom in really far and everything's very well detailed. The animations are great. It's a lot of times it's kind of turn based. This isn't turn based, but the similar style of those top down games, you just go like, oh, this is boring to watch. I'm just clicking this thing over there. I'm absolutely in love with all the animations. They're on par with anything I've seen in a normal game. You can definitely tell Obsidian's made this a labor of love.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I need to get back into it right now. Game is so good,
Yeah.
and it's cool seeing something that's just completely brand new, completely out there. I've not it's a fantasy game, but it's not following a lot of the old fantasy tropes.
Yeah.
This whole idea of the souls, and some people can like light, hurt other people's souls. There's one of the magic classes is a cipher, and they're not even like, they don't even use magic. They just can fuck with other people's souls and like light their souls on fire and cause them to like explode in the fireballs and shit.
Yeah.
And they have like a bard type class called chanters, but they have a really cool mechanic where the more chants they get, they build up, and it powers like really strong spells that they can cast. So you
Yeah.
get that traditional bard type class, but with a really cool spin to it. And it makes them really good classes for using some of the like slower weapons, because a lot of classes have their abilities. You can only fire them off when there's a like when you're doing a weapon attack or you cast a spell. You can only do it so often. Whereas with the chanter, they can do it when they can use their chanter stuff whenever they want. So you don't have to, a lot of classes you don't want to give them a big giant rifle because they're going to only shoot once every like 10 seconds. But with the chanter, it's totally fine. So it lets you fill in some niches that you might go, I don't want to do that,
Hmm.
and things like that. So it's a fun, very, very fun game. And oh, and like another one that was cool was the twist they put on Ranger was it's typical Ranger has a pet, blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
but your pet's life and your life are linked together, like your
Huh.
soulmates basically. So if your
Oh.
pet dies, like
Gross.
you get fucked up, like you get really bad debuffs and things like that.
Yeah.
If you die, your pet instantly dies, things like that. Like it's a really cool twist on it. It's
That's
not just
pretty
some like,
cool.
oh, I picked up a pup 2 days ago, he's my pet, whatever. Like you're like, you guys are bonded for life,
Yeah.
So it's cool. I've been loving it, and they came up with tons of different backstory and lore and all kinds of different gods and stuff. It's awesome.
I'm not gonna lie. I knew absolutely nothing about this game, but I'm super interested in this
Yeah,
now.
like I
Sounds
was this
awesome.
whole the whole stuff with the souls is just something I haven't really seen explored anywhere other than Bloodborne and Dark
Dark.
Souls.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
I was kind of
So
sitting there when you were talking about it, like, wait, souls, okay, what? That's like the same stuff they cover in the Souls series.
and there's like a really cool thing too they have in the game called, it's like a special stone that grows out of the ground called
Yeah.
Arda, and the stone can basically like channel souls into it.
Yeah.
And so like people believe that basically like, when you die, the nearest Arda to you absorbs your soul, and then like that goes back into the well of the earth and
Yeah, it's
comes
like
back out
Gaia.
somewhere, kind of, yeah, and comes back out somewhere else as another person. But you can craft little like ornaments and stuff out of Arda stone and use it to like capture a soul. So when you get your keep, one of the there's like a big throne, and you walk up to the throne and it talks, and that's because there's a lady that lives inside of the keep, and she's not trapped there. She's just like, I was gonna die and I didn't want to die, so I said, can you put me in the chair? And they're like, yeah, sure. So
So it's
she's,
like the
she
sorting
commands
hat.
your whole, she takes care of your keep, but instead of just being some like maid that sits there, or a quartermaster, like it's a fucking talking chair. This is awesome.
Like I said, it's like the sorting hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am definitely adding this to my list of things I have to
It's
play
gonna
because
be a long game though. Like keep that in mind, because
that's
it's
yeah.
there's just so much stuff. Like
Oh,
I'm just about to hit Act 2, and there's just so many side quests and things that I haven't done, and they're not like crappy side quests. It's not like
yeah,
for as long as Dragon Age Inquisition was, a lot of the side quests did pretty much feel like fetch quest.
yeah,
Go there, pick this flower, come back. Go there, kill this dude, come back. Like they're pretty good side quests. Like one of the whole big giant side quests is attacking this guy's castle, and it's a huge castle, and you have to fight through it. And that's like a whole. If that's like a mission that would be like the final quest in a normal game, and this is just
yeah,
a completely optional thing you can go do very early in the game.
yeah.
They just put so much stuff in this game.
I really wish I didn't have a day job so I could just sit at home and play all of these games.
Yeah, my
Like,
life is so tough,
ah,
being
like
able
it
to play
sounds
these.
so amazing. Like,
Yeah, and that's definitely like a criticism. I didn't think, I was just thinking about that myself, is that, these super long games like Dragon Age Inquisition and Pillars of Eternity and stuff, they're awesome because they're so long, but for people like you who don't have a lot of time, like that's
yeah,
a big, hey, here's this game that you can, spend the next 6 months playing.
yeah.
You don't
No,
necessarily want to spend 6 months playing the same game.
I really
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, so for people on a bit more of a time budget, it could be a lot to chew on.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
but
Because it's just a different style of game. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
um, I I know for a fact that I don't have time to get through Bloodborne as fast as everybody else seemingly is, because it is also another one of those
Big
50, 60
games,
hour
yeah.
games.
yeah,
But the difference is you can still go into Bloodborne and at least maybe accomplish something in 1 or 2 hours each night.
there's
Yeah.
little increments.
But I feel like with games like the Dragon Age Inquisition, and Pillars of Eternity, and the Divinity Original Sin and stuff like that, you had to put in like a good couple of hours to feel like, yeah, I did something.
I will say with like Pillars and Divinity to a little lesser extent, it's easier to like they put stuff into a bit more bite-sized chunks. Like of course there's things like the keep I said, but
Yeah,
there's a lot of little things too, and zones are split up and things like that. That's one thing I felt like Inquisition could have done better with, is splitting some of these zones up into smaller zones, so you don't feel like, oh wow, this is gigantic, this is gonna take me forever, because there was definitely times like you said where it just feels like I can't get anything accomplished. This is gonna take
yeah,
me 5 hours just to get across this zone, let alone do the quest. And the main quests for Dragon Age were insanely long.
Yeah.
They were definitely something you had to put off and wait until you had like a whole night to do.
yeah. I, and that's literally the reason why I did not pick up Dragon Age Inquisition because I just don't have the time
Yeah.
to deal with that. I'm pretty sure like Bloodborne's even gonna start like pushing it because there's so many other things that I want to play and like just the backlog is just
Yeah.
it's
That's
gonna
good thing about both Bloodborne and Pillars coming out right now, is that there's not a whole lot coming out for the next few months.
Yeah.
So
that's
you
good.
have time to play them. I mean, until
Nice
Witcher 3
reprieve.
hits, that's pretty much it.
Why did you remind me of Witcher 3?
When that hits, that's gonna, you pretty much have until Witcher 3 comes out to play all this stuff, and then Witcher 3 is gonna be like your entire summer.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
I'm looking forward to it. Oh
Batman.
God, there's Batman.
yeah, and Batman 2. Oh wow. Yeah, and Grand Theft Auto finally for me, maybe. One day. Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Batman that keeps getting delayed.
Oh, there's just so many things coming out that I want to play, and I'm playing so many things right now. So we might as well just talk about it. Sergio, what are you playing and what are you looking forward to?
I think he fell asleep.
Are you still alive, Sergio?
Oh yeah, I'm listening. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. So what are you playing, or what are you looking forward to playing?
Well, really, it's just my computer exploded, so
Yeah.
didn't it
that's what I
get
mean. I
rebuilt
don't know what to say because
tomorrow?
I'm just waiting for
So,
my
You're
Phoenix
gonna
down
play
to
Reaper of Souls?
so you're looking forward to
Yeah.
playing literally anything.
anything. I really want. I bought Child of Light. I can't wait to play it if that'll ever happen.
That's a good game. That's a fun game.
That's a good game.
I since I can't play Bloodborne, I bought Reaper of Souls, so I'll be playing that. I might stream that, and I'll pretend that I'll have 3 other people with me because last time I tried to do that, I was lagging about 7 days behind.
Good time.
And I hope to do a Lara Croft let's play or a Alien Isolation let's play. But
Ooh.
who knows? I mean, every week it seems like I'm telling you guys, "Oh, I'm getting my PC back," but then something bad happens.
That's
then-
usually
It's
how it
happening
goes.
tomorrow, people. It'll
Yeah,
happen.
they said you're definitely gonna get it back tomorrow. It's like, okay.
All right, sounds good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, the baby in your computer's not working. We're gonna have to give you a new newborn. Oh, you're gonna have to wait 9 more months.
Well,
How was
Hey,
Batman
at-
formed?
at least it's coming back tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I believe.
So Shane, we all know that you're playing Bloodborne. What else would you look forward to playing?
Oh, I just went poop and I saw him in the toilet. I had Bloodborne in it.
Looking
I don't
forward-
understand that one either.
Oh, it's because there's blood in my stool and he's
Oh,
playing
God.
Bloodborne.
Why did you explain it?
Because you said you could get it, so I had to tell you. That's typically a symptom of hemorrhoids, by the way.
Yeah, it is. So you might want to get that checked out.
No, I don't have it right now. But I was just saying, like, that would be you. And you're just like, oh, hey guys, I just went poop, and there's my blood in there, and then I see a box of Bloodborne came out of my butt.
Podcast listeners / viewers, it's very late for us right now.
Can you tell? I don't think you can tell.
Oh, the moon's out.
Oh.
So, okay. Yep, playing Bloodborne. I wish I had my case in here. Hold on. 1 second.
So Shane is going off to get his Bloodborne case. I personally don't
He
have
dropped
one.
boobs. He drew boobs on the character in the front of the Bloodborne case.
You see, for me, I just bought the digital version because I'm starting to stray away from physical copies. So Shane's back.
So this is the outside of it. It looks sexy. And then, yeah.
Nice. Oh, it's shiny.
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Like collector's edition?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, it's pretty
Shane's
cool.
one of those people.
I had to get, hey, Souls is my favorite series. I gotta
Yeah.
give props. Get the,
You go to Shane's
Sorry.
house and there's just like collector's edition props everywhere.
See,
yeah. For games that I don't even like necessarily.
See, I used to do that. I used to, get collection editions. Like, I love this series, yeah. But then I found out I love way too many series. that I can't do it
Did you
anymore.
find out
I
you
just
loved money,
yeah,
like having it a little
Yeah,
bit
I like
more?
having money.
I
It's
just
great to eat
convinced myself
food
out
on
of
time.
I just convinced myself out of not reserving the Metal Gear Solid 5 collector's edition where you get an arm.
Yes,
You get an entire arm.
I talked myself out of that one too. Even though it would have been awesome to have freaking Big Boss's arm, but what would I do with I have two arms already. If I get one cut off, I can't put that on. It's too small.
All
It's
right,
too
Every
what I'm
small.
time
about to
somebody
say,
says,
all
can
right,
you give me a hand with something?" You give them
what
a...
I'm about to say is rated R. So for you young ones, please cover your ears.
Oh
All
boy.
right, you take the armor and you put it on your penis, and then you have a shielded penis from the arm.
Shielded penis.
On a side note, I named my Bloodborne character Hiram Armor.
High rim, is that like a joke about like the rim of your penis? What are you talking about?
Jesus Christ.
I,
Well, you're disgusting. How could you say so?
I just want to
Why
say
would you
that I named my character Bojangles, just like I named all my other characters in every other game.
In France, in France, a bojangle's a butthole. How could you do that, Shane? How could you? You guys are sick, both of you.
All right, whatever. I'm looking forward to Batman. Move on.
Batman.
Oh
Cody.
man, Batman! That thing's not gonna come out 2 years from now. They keep pushing
So-
it back.
Yeah, they really do. So Cody, you're playing Pillars of Eternity.
How could
And
you?
I-
Pillars of Eternity is France for butthole. I don't know what you doing. Why would you say something like that?
Pillars of Eternity is a bunch of penises, Sergio. Not a butthole.
It's a euphemism.
I did name one of my characters in
You're
Pillars
awesome.
Geraldine
Right.
Dickler. So
That's the only one that I can't make a joke of
Pillars
because
of Eternity.
it's literally has dick in it. So
So other than you playing Pillars of Eternity and looking forward to GTA 5 finally.
I was like, I'm playing it. What? Nobody told me. What?
I'm playing it right now. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, right.
Real life
Apparently, I
GTA
bought a
5.
PS4 and I've been doing that. No, I've been playing Guild Wars 2 still. Game is fun. I got my Warrior to 80, and the game's kind of weird though, because it says there's a tiny amount of vertical progression in the sense of like unlocking more powerful gear. But one of ArenaNet's major tenets was that they weren't gonna just keep adding better and better gear. So it kind of feels like you hit A and you just kind of go, what the fuck do I do now? Like, it's there's a lot of stuff to do, but it's not necessarily stuff that's gonna make you quote more powerful.
If you keep playing the game, eventually you'll get to a high enough point where you get your character turns into a Tauren, and then you're playing WoW. It's really weird. It's really weird.
You can turn into like a giant like cow guy, so if you're Norn, so maybe. But yeah, so it's kind of I hit 80 and I was just kind of like, well, what the hell do I do now? And there's some things here and there. The main thing you do though is you just pretty much go around doing content and collecting skins. Because the game's got a bunch of. It's got like a WoW style transmog where you can make your armor look like other armor, but one thing they did do that was nice is that everything is account bound. So once you unlock, this chest, you never have to do it again. The downside of that system, though, that this really pissed me off about hitting 80, because I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna hit 80, I'm gonna go get all the skins, everything's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Except transmog requires real money.
Oh,
so
that's
lame. They gotta make the money somehow.
You have to get transmutation charges, and you can. I haven't seen anywhere like once in a very rare blue moon you can get like a drop from a chest or something like that gives you more But the main thing is like you have to either buy them from the gem store, or I will give them credit since you can buy gems with in-game gold. If you just want to like farm your ass off and get a ton of in-game gold, you can spend that on the gems and then get on the transmog stuff. But yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, this would be great. Get all the skins. That's what I'll do when I hit 80. Oh shit, this costs money.
If you're wondering, yeah, I was completely quiet with the Pillars of Salt video game you guys are talking about because I had no idea about it. But Guild Wars, I can tell you all about it because I was playing alone for a long time because all you motherfuckers stopped playing.
That's kind of like Sergio's problem. Is like he always shows up when we're all like done with the game.
Late to the party.
It's like, sup, I just bought Diablo, and we're like, bruh, like that.
You know what?
I just oh, Shane is dead.
You know what represents me is in the movie The Christmas Story. I'm that kid with all the jackets on that's trailing behind, and you guys are the ones in front.
I guess that's the way to put it.
You guys suck real hard.
Yeah. Hey, I'm playing it again if you want to come back.
You know what? F you. No, I'm gonna play Tiberium Sun because of this. I'm just gonna go way back.
Way back machine.
Way back machine.
Yeah. Great minds think alike.
So that leaves it to me. Playing Bloodborne. It's great. It's fun. It's wonderful. I feel like this has dethroned Resident Evil Revelations 2 as my favorite game of the year so far. So that's nice. Yeah. I'm just mostly just playing Bloodborne because that's the only thing I'm thinking about at all times.
Looking forward to Witcher 3.
Oh, looking forward to Witcher 3.
That's a long time from now.
But next week is a little game called Axiom Verge that's coming out for the PS4, and I'm looking forward to that because it is a 2D action game that takes a lot of cues from Metroid.
Nice.
Right up my alley. So it's just right up my alley. So I'm going to put some time into that next week. And yeah, that's what I'm playing. That's what I'm looking forward to. Starting this Wednesday, I will be posting my Let's Play of Ori and the Blind Forest, which is the first part of it. It's going to be archived footage from the Twitch stream that I did however long ago. On Thursday, we will be releasing PixelClicks Presents Resident Evil Revelations 2, which is essentially a post-mortem. It's me and two of my friends talking about Resident Evil Revelations 2. We're just dissecting it, telling everything that we liked and disliked about that game. Just everything. Spoiler everywhere. Spoilers about everything in that game.
Spoilers the video.
Spoilers the video. It's basically a spoiler cast. So look forward to that. There will probably also be a PixelClicks Presents Bloodborne and Pillars of Eternity sometime in the future. So look forward to that as well. Well, we'll see what we can do about Pillars.
I cheat my ass off in that game, so I don't know if people. But I was thinking I would stream. Who knows? Maybe people might want to see it. Guild Wars 2, because I thought that game ran really bad, and then don't ask me how, but for some reason putting it on super sampling instead of normal, which should make it run like butthole. Hey, Sergio. For some reason, putting it on super sampling made the game go up like 40 FPS. So, fucking magic. It's how it works. So,
you're a wizard, Harry.
It actually runs really well, so maybe I'll stream that.
So that sounds good. We will do all of those things. So you can find us on youtube.com/PixelClicksPodcast, twitch.tv/PixelClicksPodcast, facebook.com/PixelClicksPodcast. Send your love and hate and all those great kinds of emails to PixelClicksPodcast@gmail.com. We will read it probably, maybe even on the show. Who knows? Yeah, do all those things. I'm Jordan, that's Sergio, Shane, and Cody. This has been PCP, the Pixel Clicks Podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Later.
No more buttholes.